let's discuss something that's sending shockwaves through royal circles right now. Prince Andrew's shocking behavior at his new home. Oh yes, THAT property. The farmhouse he absolutely doesn't want. According to bombshell reports from the Mirror, the Daily Mail, and royal correspondents tracking this situation closely, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor recently made his first official visit to Marsh Farm, the property where he'll be forced to live once Royal Lodge is taken from him, and the visit, an absolute disaster. Multiple sources describe Andrew as visibly enraged. One insider used the word tantrum to describe his reaction. Another said he was openly furious and appalled by what he saw. This isn't speculation. This is coming from people who were there. So what exactly happened during that visit? What did Andrew see that triggered such an explosive meltdown? And what does this reaction reveal about his current mental state? Today, we're breaking down every detail. The farmhouse itself, the shocking condition Andrew discovered, his reported fury, and the two massive rumors that keep gaining traction. First, the speculation that this entire move is just palace PR theater. And second, the claims that Andrew is planning to flee to Bahrain. But let's start with what actually happened at Marsh Farm. Andrew traveled to the estate in Norfolk to inspect the 5-bedroom farmhouse that will become his new permanent residence. This property has been empty for years. It's currently undergoing major renovations, security upgrades, broadband installation, landscaping work. On the surface, it sounds like a routine moving inspection, but sources say Andrew's reaction was anything but routine. The Mirror reported that he described the property as pokey and ramshackle. Those aren't casual observations. Those are words dripping with contempt. One source told the Daily Mail that Andrew really didn't want Marsh Farm and hadn't lived in a space this small since leaving Buckingham Palace decades ago. Think about the scale of this downgrade. Royal Lodge, 30 rooms, sprawling Windsor Great Park location, total privacy, historical prestige. Marsh Farm, 5 bedrooms, modest farmhouse layout, miles from anywhere significant. For someone like Andrew, this isn't just a move, it's a public humiliation. But here's where it gets worse. During his visit, pest control vehicles were spotted at the property. The exact issue hasn't been officially confirmed, but multiple reports have suggested a rat problem. Yes, rats. Whether that's confirmed or exaggerated, the optics are catastrophic. Imagine being Andrew, arriving at your new home, and seeing pest control teams actively working to deal with an infestation. That's not a graceful transition. That's degradation. There are also reports of potential flooding issues. The farmhouse's location and current state have raised concerns about long-term safety. Renovations are addressing some of these problems, but they're real concerns. To be fair, work is being done. CCTV is being installed. A 6-foot perimeter fence is going up. Privacy screening is planned because the farmhouse sits near a public route. But for Andrew, good enough has never been acceptable. Royal author Robert Jobson told Hello magazine that Andrew is kicking his heels and making it crystal clear to King Charles and Palace officials that he's not going quietly. Described him as dragging his feet, resisting reality, fighting a battle he's already lost. And this is where timing becomes critical. Removal vans have been photographed at Royal Lodge. Andrew must vacate completely before his 66th birthday in mid-February. That's just weeks away. Once he leaves, the keys will be returned to the Crown Estate. This is the end of Royal Lodge. Whether Andrew accepts it or not. Until Marsh Farm is ready, he'll stay temporarily at Wood Farm Cottage on the Sandringham Estate, the same cottage Prince Philip used in his final years, but it's small, very small. One source recently claimed Andrew has come to terms with the move. But if that's true, why the tantrum? Why the visible fury? Stay with us, because what comes next exposes just how deep Andrew's denial really goes. The Isolation ACC-LRA2S. Let's talk about what Andrew is really losing here. Because this move isn't about real estate, it's about identity. Status. The visible proof of who he once was. Royal Lodge represented Andrew's position within the royal family for over 20 years. It was his sanctuary, his castle, his evidence that despite everything, he still mattered. Now it's being ripped away. And Marsh Farm, it's not a replacement, it's a demotion, a very public, very permanent demotion. The contrast is devastating. Royal Lodge, 30 rooms, historic significance, proximity to Windsor Castle, royal prestige. Marsh Farm, 5 bedrooms, pest problems, flood concerns, geographic isolation. For Andrew, this represents everything he's lost, and the entire world is watching it happen. But there's more. In October last year, Andrew was officially stripped of his remaining royal titles and honors. Buckingham Palace released a statement saying this reflected serious lapses of judgment, denying and all allegations related to Jeffrey Epstein for abuse survivors. But his position has been fundamentally altered. He's no longer a working royal. He has no official duties. He receives no public funding. And now he's being physically removed from royal properties. This move to Sandringham isn't about housing. It's about containment. It places him far from Windsor, far from London, far from the heart of royal life, out of sight, ideally out of mind. And that brings us to Sarah Ferguson. For years, Sarah lived at Royal Lodge alongside Andrew despite divorcing in 1996. That arrangement was always unusual, but it worked. They presented a united front. She defended him publicly. But recently, the dynamic has shifted. Several outlets suggest Sarah will also leave Royal Lodge, though her future accommodation remains unconfirmed. More significantly, recent reports no longer describe them as allies. Instead, there are hints of distance, frustration, cracks in the relationship. Some sources claim Sarah has cut him off completely, along with daughter Eugenie. Whether that's accurate or exaggerated, the fact it's being reported signals something has changed. For years, Sarah was Andrew's most loyal supporter. If that support is fading, Andrew's isolation becomes total. And then there's this bizarre detail. Reports suggest Andrew is now interested in dating again. Yes, dating, while facing forced relocation, stripped titles, and ongoing scrutiny. Andrew is apparently considering romantic prospects. It feels less like optimism and more like delusion. But Andrew's personal life isn't the only source of speculation. There's another rumor gaining serious traction. Bahrain. 4 months. Whispers have circulated that Andrew could relocate to the Middle East. Bahrain is mentioned most often, given his regional connections. Initially, these rumors felt distant, speculative. Now, the tone has shifted. Recent coverage suggests this is becoming realistic. Sources speak about it not as maybe but as when. One insider reportedly said a quieter life abroad could suit Andrew, especially once he's fully removed from UK royal properties. If this happens, Sandringham may only be temporary, a holding pattern before permanent exile. Think about it. Andrew could spend months at Marsh Farm, satisfy public expectations, then quietly slip away to Bahrain, where media scrutiny is lighter and backlash is less intense. It would be the ultimate escape. But there's one more theory, and it's even more cynical. Some reports suggest this entire move, the renovations, the removal vans, the public drama, is nothing but PR theater. The claim, there's no real intention for Andrew to live at Marsh Farm long term. This is palace performance designed to show the public action is being taken while Andrew negotiates different arrangements behind the scenes. Is that true? Difficult to confirm, but the fact people are asking tells you how much trust has eroded. Andrew has spent years resisting consequences, delaying, refusing reality. So when reports emerge about tantrums and fury at Marsh Farm, it fits a pattern. This is a man who has never accepted his fall from grace, and now, standing in a modest farmhouse with pest control nearby, he's being forced to confront it. But this story isn't over. What happens next could define Andrew's final chapter. Don't go anywhere. The conclusion reveals where this is truly headed. The final Arisa Cohen-Oniso. Where does this leave Prince Andrew? A man who was once a senior working royal is now weeks from losing Royal Lodge permanently. He's being relocated to a 5-bedroom farmhouse he clearly despises. His first visit reportedly ended in fury and what sources call a tantrum. His relationship with Sarah Ferguson appears strained. His daughters seem distant. His public reputation is destroyed. His future is uncertain. This is not the life he imagined. Let's be clear about what's happening. This move isn't about compassion. It's about damage control. King Charles is making a calculated decision to physically distance Andrew from the royal family's public image. Sandringham is remote, private, far from cameras and scrutiny. It allows the palace to say we've handled this while keeping Andrew invisible. But Andrew isn't cooperating. His reported reaction at Marsh Farm reveals everything. He's angry, resistant, clinging to fragments of a life that no longer exists. Yet he has no choice. Removal vans have been spotted. The deadline is set. By mid-February, he must be out. Royal Lodge will no longer be his. Whether he moves to Marsh Farm, Wood Farm Cottage, or eventually Bahrain, one truth is certain. His old life is finished. But here's the lingering question. Will Andrew ever truly accept this new reality? Or will he continue fighting, resisting, creating drama until there's nothing left? Some believe he'll eventually settle into Marsh Farm, disappear from public view, and live quietly in Norfolk. Others think the Bahrain rumors are real, and Andrew will flee the UK once things calm down. Then there are those who believe this entire move is temporary PR performance to satisfy public anger while Andrew negotiates something more comfortable behind closed doors. Which version is true? Time will reveal it. But one thing is undeniable. Andrew's fall is complete. Titles gone. Honors stripped. Mansion lost. Support system crumbling. And now, standing in a farmhouse he openly hates, Prince Andrew must face the consequences of his own choices. This is where his story has led. A 5-bedroom farmhouse with pest issues, flood concerns, and a security fence. Far from the 30-room estate he once called home. For most people, Marsh Farm would be a dream, a beautiful property on a royal estate with renovations, security, and privacy. But for Andrew, it's a prison, a daily reminder of everything lost, and the world is watching. So here's my final question. Do you think Andrew will stay at Marsh Farm? Or is Bahrain his real endgame? Do you believe this move is genuine? Or just palace theater? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story shocked you, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more explosive royal revelations. Because this saga is far from over.